Yo people, hope you're all good, and obviously today I'm going to be talking a bit about Viktor Gyokeres to Arsenal. And where this all kind of starts is, I woke up in the morning and I saw a bit of news. I saw this one article, it's from the Football Insider. It's written by a brother called Peter O'Rourke, transfer correspondent. Don't quite know who he is, but due to the fact that there's a lot of talk going around about Viktor Gyokeres joining Arsenal, I can only imagine that everybody has their say on the matter. Now, the title is Viktor Gyokeres, happy to sign for Arsenal, get the deal done. Now, before I go into the content of the report itself, I'll just give a bit of my thoughts on the matter. So, we've seen over the last week or so, the links really intensify of Viktor Gyokeres moving to Arsenal. We've seen it reported by some of the big names, like the Romanos. He's briefly touched upon it, but we've also seen a lot of Portuguese outlets talk about it as well. We've seen, we all saw on I can't remember the name of the Portuguese newspaper, but it was front page, Gyokeres, Arsenal. It's getting busy. We've seen Arteta be asked about it in his press conference, little joke about it. We've seen a lot of talk come out about how Arteta very, very interested in getting Viktor Gyokeres to Arsenal. And for me, it's a move that makes sense. It's something that I've wanted for the last 2 seasons. And he really does solve a massive problem that Arsenal have. We need someone in the 9 that 9 times out of 10, they put the ball in the back of the net. Or at least the players on the pitch and us as fans can have confidence that when he's in scenarios where really and truly the ball should be going into the back of the net, he can do that. He's got over 70 GA this season. For me, there is no one better than that. So now, look, the article goes on to say, Arsenal have been given the green light to sign Viktor Gyokeres from Sporting CP, which both parties keen on the move, sources have told Football Insider. We know about this. One thing that I think has been consistent in a lot of reports is that it's not just been about Arsenal being able to agree personal terms with the player. There's also been a lot of talk about, Sporting have kind of accepted, look, Viktor, he is going to be leaving this season. This transfer window. We're open to talk. We're open to do a deal. This is the amount that we want. Hearing it's round about the £60 million mark, which is more than doable for Arsenal, especially considering we didn't sign anyone in January. We didn't really go into our reserves, talking about cash here, in the summer window. We we neglected a certain need in the squad for the last 2 transfer windows. Definitely, some could argue for the last 10. I would be one of those that would argue for the last 10, but 100% definitely this season we neglected it for the last 2 windows. Now, speaking on the latest edition of Football Insider's Inside Track podcast, senior correspondent Peter O'Rourke revealed what sources have told him about the progress of Arsenal's efforts to sign the striker. The Gunners' new sporting director Andrea Berta is a long-term admirer of the Swedish international, and Football Insider revealed that talks are advancing between Arsenal and Gyokeres' representatives. And obviously, that's where probably happy to sign for Arsenal is coming from. The fact that we are talking with the representatives. This is clear. I think at this point, this is clear. I've seen enough reports. You've seen enough reports from many sources that are talking about the same thing. The dots are connecting. Yeah. Sporting are willing to sell the 52-goal striker for just £60 million this summer, like I said earlier. Despite Gyokeres' contract, including an £85 million release clause, and sources have told Football Insider that he's happy to sign for Arsenal. Now, I don't know, maybe Sporting have financial issues that they need to resolve. I don't know, maybe Sporting have accepted that, look, he is going to go at some point. He probably won't sign a new contract. Will anybody really trigger the 85 million release clause? Not so sure, but we do want to avoid the scenario of him approaching the final year and potentially leaving on a free. Let's sell him while he's still got a bit of change on his contract, and 60 million, definitely for a team like Sporting, that's a lot of money. They can definitely go out there and replace him. Probably not to the same extent, because there's not too many strikers in world football that can score as many goals as Gyokeres. However, they will definitely be able to bring in someone that can light up the Portuguese league. And let's be real, Sporting, very attractive outlet. I think they've won the league this season, so they will be in Champions League next year. It is a very attractive prospect for whoever they should decide to replace Viktor Gyokeres. Now, Mikel Arteta isn't wholly sold on Gyokeres as the striker to deliver a Premier League title to the Emirates, and has his eye on RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko, which we've spoken about before. But Arsenal could soon be on the brink of signing the free scoring Swede. Now, just on the Mikel Arteta part. So I've seen a lot of reports that are insinuating that there's misalignment between Mikel Arteta and Andrea Berta. But Mikel Arteta came out in I think it was his last press conference, and he basically said, look, we're both aligned. We both share the same vision. Like, you know, he referenced him and Edu had such a good relationship, was always aligned, wanted the same things. And so far, he has no reason to believe that it won't be the same with Berta. So it's come out of Mikel Arteta's own mouth that they are aligned. And I guess us signing Viktor Gyokeres will kind of put the nail in the head that they are not aligned. Now, Football Insider revealed on the 3rd of May that Arsenal were doing everything they could to sign Gyokeres early in the transfer window ahead of an anticipated battle with Manchester United for his signature. Speaking on the latest Inside Track, O'Rourke said that Arsenal's persistence has paid off, and all parties now have a willingness to complete Gyokeres' transfer to North London in this summer's window. Now, Manchester United, should they get Champions League football, they could pose a threat to Arsenal signing Gyokeres, because obviously the Amorim-Gyokeres relationship. Now, my opinion on this is, even if they do get Champions League football, I don't think it matters too much, because, let's be honest, Manchester United are going through a rebuild. Gyokeres' age that he is, I feel like he wants to walk into a team, a club, that has more stability, that's further ahead in their project. And that's where I feel Arsenal may have the upper hand. And also, it does seem like Arsenal have done a lot of groundwork for this deal. Manchester United, you know, they're heavily focused on this Europa League final. I don't know if they've been putting in the same groundwork. Now, and then also aside, like, yeah, Manchester United need a striker, but Manchester United need a lot of things. So they're going to be dividing a lot of their attention, where Arsenal can just go boom, straight for Gyokeres. I've also seen reports saying that there's a lot of clubs around Europe are actually quite intimidated and frightened by how quickly Arsenal are able to just go in, talk to these camps, talk to these clubs, and try and get things moving. We're moving at a pace that is putting a lot of other clubs on edge. another factor. So for Gyokeres, talks are advancing between Arsenal and his representatives, he told Football Insider. Gyokeres is emerging as the number one choice for Arsenal, and it seems there's a willingness from all parties to get the deal done. The player is happy to come, and Sporting CP are happy to sell for just over 60 million. Now, I mean, if all these reports are saying, yeah, look, Arsenal want Gyokeres, Gyokeres wants Arsenal, and there's not going to be any difficulty agreeing a fee with his club, I expect Arsenal to get this done sorted. Get this deal done quickly. Arsenal are keen to splash the cash, that's evident, and have identified Rodrigo as well as a possible target. And Paul Robinson told Football Insider that signing the Real Madrid winger and a new striker would be a real statement. Arteta and Berta's priority this summer was always to bring in a world-class number 9, and after 95 goals and 28 assists in all competitions over 2 seasons, it's hard to argue Gyokeres doesn't fit the bill. Berta is keen for Arsenal to add further reinforcements in the final third, but if he can tick Gyokeres off his transfer shortlist before pre-season begins, he'll certainly win over an expectant Gunners faithful. And this is what all the Arsenal fans are hoping for. Don't get me wrong, I know there's a section of the Arsenal fan base that prefers Sesko. There's a section of the Arsenal fan base that prefer Gyokeres. I think the large majority of the fan base is aligned on Rodrigo. I think the one thing that all of us, whatever side we are on in the fan base, whoever we may want, we want to see the deals done quickly. Yeah, I want to see that transfer window open and literally same day, maybe first few days of it, definitely within the first week, I want to see breaking news. Arsenal have agreed a fee with X club. So, people, obviously let me know what you think about, this bit of Gyokeres news. Do you think that he is happy to sign for Arsenal? Can you see Arsenal getting it done? Is this a deal that would make you happy? Let me know in the comments below.